Hi, it's Mike Panja, and today we're going to make a very festive dish. It almost guarantees a party when you serve it. Paella Valenciana.
Here are the ingredients you'll need to make your paella.
Before we start cooking, we have to prepare some of the ingredients. What I have here is some bone-in chicken thighs, which I think cook up better in this particular dish. And I like to have the skin on because the cracklings in the bottom of the pan when we start cooking add to the flavor, in my opinion. No reason you couldn't use skinless, boneless chicken parts if you wanted to. This is what I use, this is what I like best. Okay, so what we're going to do is try and cut this exactly in half. I didn't quite make it, but we can actually make 3 pieces out of it. That's fine too. So there's 3 nice serving size pieces for us. And that's a little better. I got those more close to being in half. We got 2, 4, 5 pieces. I'm thinking that we're going to serve 4 with the dish I'm going to make, so 5 pieces should be good. Everybody gets 1, and there's 1 extra one for the pot. The next thing we have to prepare is our shrimp. I have about 1 pound of shrimp here, which have to be peeled and deveined. You can buy shrimp already peeled and deveined, which is fine. I prefer that you don't buy the ones that are already cooked. If you do, you'll have to treat them a little differently and not put them in the pot till the very end, till you're ready to serve. But raw shrimp are the best. Now I have a tool here, which is especially made to go into the shrimp and break the shell, as you can see, where it makes it easy to devein it. We're going to leave the tails on, although there's some dispute with this particular dish. By leaving the tails on, we're assuming that our diners are going to have to pick up the shrimp. Okay. You can see the vein down the middle. We'll just pick it out, and that's it. Let's get a closer look. We put the tool into the body of the shrimp, keeping it under the shell, push our way in until we get to the last section of the shell. Crack that open, and now we can roll the broken shell right off the shrimp. As you roll it around, if you see a lot of legs like this, pinch them off with the shell. I'm leaving the tails on. Look down the center. If you see a black vein, peel it out.
Next, we'll cut up some chorizo sausage. We'll want to discard any muscles where the shells are not tightly closed.
Let's get our vegetables cut up. I want to mince the onion. have about a cup of minced onions. One red pepper diced, and a green pepper. And one green pepper diced. And we'll need a little garlic. Last thing we need to prepare a side is about 2 cups of frozen peas. Here are our vegetable add-ins. We have the green pepper, the red pepper, minced onion, and the frozen peas thawed out gently in the microwave. I think we're about done with the preparations and we're ready to start cooking. I'm putting about a cup of olive oil in the bottom of a large pot. We'll heat that up a little bit. The first thing we want to take care of is the chicken. So we're going to put that in the oil and get it browned to start the process. After 10 to 12 minutes, you can take these out, put them aside. And now put the chorizo in. Once the chorizo is brown, you can scoop it out and put it aside with the chicken. Now let's add in the onion and garlic. Scrape up whatever flavor is stuck to the bottom of the pan, whatever brownings are there. After about 2 minutes, we're ready to add in the rice. Now I want to stir the rice in the oil so we can get the grains coated somewhat with the oil. It'll help with the flavoring later. After 2 or 3 minutes with the oil, we want to start to add our chicken broth. I want to cover the rice by about a little more than a half an inch. I've used 2 cans here. I think I can put 1 more in. That looks about right. Stir that up, and what we want to see now is some bubbling of a boil before we can go on to the next step. While we're waiting for this to simmer, we can stir in about a half a teaspoon of turmeric, and that's what's going to give our distinctive yellow color to the Spanish rice. In the spirit of authenticity, I'm also going to throw in a few strands of saffron. At this point, we can put our meat back in, the chicken and the chorizo. The reason I didn't leave it in the first place is to get a good level of broth and rice so I could judge it better. If I had the chicken underneath, it would have been difficult. Okay, I see our mixture bubbling. Now I want to give it about 1 minute to bubble, and then we'll let it simmer after that. Now I'm going to cover it, turn down the heat a little bit, and set my timer for 10 minutes. At this point, you could actually call it arroz con pollo. If we put in a couple more pieces of chicken and let it continue without adding anything else, it's actually arroz con pollo. 10 minutes and we can add in the seafood. There's the shrimp. And the mussels. Okay, let's stir those in. At this point, we can put the peppers on top, let them steam. And we're ready to go for another 11 minutes. After 11 minutes, we remove the cover and we can put our peas in. Stir everything together. I think we're good. Turn off the heat. Now we cover it and let it rest for 10 minutes. Ten-minute rest covered, and now it's ready to serve. I didn't mention before If it's easier for you to get them or you prefer, you can use clams instead of mussels. Or you could really be decadent and use both. Even cap off each serving with a half of a lobster tail. Or a whole lobster tail for that matter, if we're going to be decadent. Well, there you have it, Paella Valenciana. A couple of little things I want to add to it. You'll remember that I used a low sodium chicken broth in putting this together, and you may find you need a little salt. So taste it at the end and salt to taste if you need it. The other thing I'd like to mention is this was a pretty basic version, and you can enhance it and make it more luxurious if you like. You can add to this some more chorizo sausage, and you can add some sea scallops, which I would quarter. They're about 1.5 inches in diameter, usually to 2 inches in diameter. I would cut them in quarters and add about 3/4 pound of scallops to the mix. The other thing you can do to add a touch of elegance is buy some small lobster tails, steam them, and put one tail on top of each serving on the dinner plate as you serve them. Very nice. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're going to make some of this Paella Valenciana. And if you do, would you please take a picture and email it to me at mike@mikepanja.com. Then I'll feature you on a future video. Meanwhile, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And I'll see you again next time.